Aye, beautiful beings. I'm Crystal and welcome back to this 31-day self-love yoga journey. It's day 13, lucky number 13. Get yourself ready and let's begin. So to get started today, we're going to come down to the ground just for a wee moment as I give a brief introduction into the lucky number 13. So I find it such a shame that we're taught to fear this number in society, and the reason why is because it's connected to the female menstrual cycle, as well as that is connected to the lunar cycle. And both of these cycles are divinely intertwined, and the feminine energy connected to our cycles is incredibly powerful. It's creative and a destructive force. So rather than fearing this number today, we are going to be honoring the number 13 by honoring the divine feminine, and we're going to do this by moving through a moon salutation variation. So let's now stand up at the tops of our mats, planting your feet firmly on the earth, and with an inhale, lift and reach your hands up to the sky. With an exhale, we're going to float the hands down, forward folds, and step the right foot back, lower that knee. So in a moment, we're going to lift up in this low lunge, but I just want you to see what foot positioning feels better for your knee connected to the earth. So you can either tuck the toes under or come flat on your foot, and it just changes how it feels on the knee. So just see what works best for you, and if you do have sensitive knees, you can also use your mat for extra padding. So find your positioning, connect your roots down, and with an inhale, we're going to lift up, reach fingertips up to the sky, and maybe even lean back slightly. With an exhale, we're going to float the hands back down to the earth and step the front foot back, plank pose. Knowing that we can lower the knees, lift the feet for a variation. And so from here, we can either lower all the way down to the belly with an exhale, or lower the knees, the chest, and the chin for cricket pose. Wherever you are, with an inhale, we're going to open up through the chest, loop the shoulders back, cobra, and exhale, float the forehead down. Making our way to downward facing dog, press away from the earth, lift the hips up and back. Then take the gaze forward, step right foot up in between the hands, lower the back knee. Finding your foot position for that back knee, maybe adding some padding. Once you've connected to your roots, inhale, lift up, maybe lean back slightly, and exhale, float the hands down. Lifting the back knee up, step the back foot up to meet the front, forward folds, let the head get heavy. Bend through your knees as much as you need to. And with an inhale, we're gonna lift and rise up to the sky. Keep your hands lifted up overhead. With an exhale, we're going to lean to one side, opening up through the side of the body. Inhale takes you through center. Exhale over to the other side. So inhale to rise up, and exhale to make a crescent moon shape with your body. So keep this going with your breath, opening up through the sides of the body. Let's do this one more time on either side. Once that is complete for you, returning to center with both hands lifted up, and with an exhale, float them down, forward fold. Stepping the left foot back, lower that knee. Find your foot positioning, make sure that your knee is comfortable. And with an inhale, lift up, reach up, maybe lean back slightly. Exhale, float the hands down. Stepping the front foot back, plank pose. Knees lifted or lowered. And with an exhale, either lowering all the way to the belly or lowering the knees, chest and chin. Keeping the elbows close by the sides of the ribcage wherever you are. With an inhale, loop the shoulders up and back. Cobra. Exhale, float the forehead down. And make your way to downward dog. With an inhale, take your gaze forward, stepping the left foot up in between the hands. Lowering down the right knee. Find your foundations. And with an inhale, lift up, rise up, maybe leaning back. And exhale, float the hands down. Lifting up the back knee, stepping back foot up to the front. Forward folds. And with your next inhale, we're going to lift and reach our hands up high. And exhale, float them down by your sides. So now we're going to step out nice and wide on our mats. Toes are pointed out at an angle towards the two corners of the mat. We're going to bend into the knees as we open up through the arms, bend the elbows. Goddess pose. So allow your heart to be open here. Let yourself be seen. Let yourself take up space here. Let yourself shine. Maybe starting to feel a burn in the thighs, reminding you that you are strong, you are powerful, you are alive. Remember to breathe. We're here for just a few more moments in this gorgeous goddess pose. With an exhale, float the hands down, straighten out through the legs. Let's step back to the top of our mat. Inhale to lift up and exhale as you float down. Stepping the right foot back, lowering that knee, finding your foundations. Hug the thighs in towards the center as you inhale. Lift up, maybe lean back. Exhale, hands float down. Stepping back to your plank variation. With an exhale, lowering all the way to the belly or lowering the knees, the chest, the chin. Wherever you are, looping the shoulders up and back, cobra. Exhale, float the forehead down. Tuck the toes under, send the hips up and back, downward dog. With an inhale, take your gaze forward. Step right foot up in between the hands. Lower the back knee down. Whenever you're ready, inhale, lift up, maybe lean back. And exhale, float the hands down. Lifting the back knee, stepping back foot up to the front, forward fold. And with an inhale, lift up, rise up, palms kiss overhead, lean back slightly, and exhale to float all the way down. Step one foot back, lower that knee. Step the other foot back, lower that knee, and take the legs just a little bit closer than hip distance apart, but they don't have to touch. Tucking the toes under. With an inhale, we're going to lift and reach our hands up to the sky, Catch a star in between your hands, and with an exhale, lower down, making our way to a child's pose. So we can either zip the legs together or take the big toes together, knees out wide. Starting to melt the heart down to the earth, forehead kisses the earth. Keeping your hands in prayer either stretched out in front of you or taking the hands over top the head, elbows out nice and wide. Feeling this magic of the star that you caught between your hands. And connecting to the divine feminine energy here by allowing yourself to soften. Relaxing the muscles in the body. Lengthening through the spine, stretching the knees, the ankles. Enjoying our final moments in this shape. And when you're ready, start to slowly lift back up, coming towards tabletop, crossing the ankles behind, coming through to a seat, and finishing this practice in stillness. So you can either stay in a seated position, or you can fully surrender by lying down. So finding whatever feels best for you. Wherever you are, finding a nice neutral spine. And giving yourself permission to soften into stillness. Since this session today is connected to the divine feminine, I have my water chimes, which I'm going to play. The water being a feminine element and also very connected to the moon. So all you have to do is just be and allow for these vibrations to wash over you and through you. You can stay in stillness for as long as you need. But if you are ready to reawaken the body, you can start to invite some movement into the fingers, the toes. Starting to open up the eyes. Yawn out the body in any way that feels good to you. And if you are ready to finish this practice here and now, I invite you to join me in a seat. Lifting up through the spine. With an inhale, we're going to lift and reach our fingertips up and overhead, palms kiss. And exhale as we take our hands down in front of our heart center. Inhale here. And exhale as you bow in honor to yourself for showing up for this practice. Bowing in reverence, honoring the sacred practice of yoga. And sealing this practice in any way that feels right for you. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.